Hi everyone, it's Roger here from what's on DisneyPlus.com and a quick review of Cruella. But before we get into any of that, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Disney is set to release its brand new live action movie Cruella in cinemas and on Disney Plus Premier Access on Friday, May the 28th. Now this movie, I'm going to be honest, I went into this one a bit lukewarm, wasn't really that excited about it. 101 Dalmatians is a fine movie, the live action version as well with Glenn Close was okay. It didn't kind of do anything for me. So I kind of was going into this one like, yeah, okay, whatever, I'm kind of interested. But having watched it, I was really impressed. I really enjoyed it. There are so many things about this movie which really caught my attention. First off, it looks amazing. I mean, Emma Stone and all the fashion stuff they do in this one just looks stunning. I mean, when she arrives as Cruella, in each scene she steals the screen. You just see her coming in, and there's no, and that's the whole point of the character. That's what she's trying to do at that point, is to grab all the attention away from the Baroness. So all those big scenes that you see in the trailers, there's a reason she's doing it, and again, it's just so impactful, and the way she looks, it just looks great. She's also kind of completely bonkers. She's kind of got split personality going on with Estelle, who is kind of like the normal version of Cruella, and kind of this all, as events unfold, we kind of see why she's became who she was. And it's very interesting that she's not a straight up sort of someone you do start feeling sorry for her, you start empathizing with her, and you want her to succeed, which is kind of weird because she is the villain, and obviously this is a villain origin story. But it still kind of keeps her pretty crazy and a little bit, and I like that. This whole thing with her, even just the way, Emma Stone does all the narration throughout it. It sounds kind of eerie. The music in this just is fantastic, featuring a load of rock and roll music from the 60s, and the setting of that really works well. I'm really blown away with that music aspect to it and what they do with it. And I think as a whole, the performances from all the actors and stuff, Emma Stone obviously is fantastic, but also Emma Thompson as the Baroness. I mean, she's just a really nasty villain, and you kind of need that, really. I mean, for a villain to go up against another villain, there's gonna be something there, and you do end up kind of going behind Cruella. There's loads of great stuff in here. If you love dogs as well, like I do, you might even be able to hear my little dog snoring right now. This has got loads of dogs in them. There's a couple of little sidekick dogs kind of helping Cruella and their friends who are criminals, and they're kind of running around, and the dogs are helping them out. And it kind of, you sort of look at this and go, well, why does she hate dogs? Well, you're going to see why she maybe doesn't like Dalmatians in this movie, and I think she's got a very good point and why she wouldn't. But ultimately, you were going to see where this goes, whether or not they do anything in the future with it. There was a lot of comparisons, I think, to like Harley Quinn, and I think, yeah, visually you might have a little bit of it, and she's obviously a bit bonkers. But it felt much different than that. I didn't really feel that at all when I was watching it. I think from the trailers that you just kind of seeing those crazy bits. But in the actual movie, you got much more used to sort of seeing how she is. And also the co-fashion element and stuff that they involve in it. Those fashion choices make a lot of sense, and how she looks. They got the crazy scenes where she's driving and taking in those little aspects from the original movie. Yeah, I just really enjoyed it. And I can't stress this enough. I have to give it a score. I'd give it, 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I've watched it again since then, which I wasn't expecting to do. Now the question is it worth $29.99 or $19.99 UK money? I think if you're on your own and you feel safe, go to the cinema. I mean, I think it's going to look pretty impressive. Or you can wait till it arrives on Disney Plus at the end of August. If you've got a family and you think you're going to be watching it over and over again, I think Premier Access is good value for money for that particular thing. But if you're a couple and you're only going to watch it once, you might think, actually, I like to go out to the cinema and kind of have an experience, But I fully understand the idea of sitting at home and watching it safely. That's something I would do. Having seen the movie now, would I say it was worth it? I probably would say yes. But again, if you're on your own, I don't think it's maybe not in that same league. As we've got like Black Widow and Jungle Cruise and stuff coming up, it is a lot of money. And I think, you've got to take that into account. I think if you are a family, Premier Access makes a lot more sense. But if you're on your own, I don't know. I mean, if you really want to see it, it is a really fun movie, and I really can't stress that enough. As far as like what I didn't like about it, sometimes the special effects looked a little bit ropey, but that's just me being a bit fussy. There wasn't really anything in here that I didn't like, and that's great. I mean, I just generally got to the end of that movie and that was great. My wife really enjoyed it as well. We watched it together, and If you kind of like it like Maleficent, I think it was better than Maleficent because it was like set in a more real world. There's not really sort of any magic or anything going on in there. Yeah, as a whole, I just can't really recommend Cruella enough. I just really enjoyed it, and ultimately, it's going to be your choice of whether or not you want to pay extra to do it. But as I said, if you wait till the end of August, it will be available to all of Disney Plus subscribers about 3 months later. So you have that choice. But let me know in the comments below if you're going to be seeing Cruella. Thank you very much for watching this video. Make sure you go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. Also, a huge thank you to all of our supporters over on Patreon and also on our YouTube channel memberships. And I shall see you guys in another video. Laters.